Hello, my name's Stephen from K-Scale Models, and today I'm doing a video on the Damocloid Heavy Cruiser. So this is another design from my own head. I've kind of just taken what I'd learned when I was making these other ships, you know, the ones that are basically the Buster Rifle but turned into a ship, and decided just to make my own ships rather than rely on that. So a couple of things, I'm going to go over some of the philosophies in a minute, but anyway, first let's do a spin around. So side on, rear, side, front. So this is not really to a scale, it's basically just that's the size, therefore that's the size. If you're needing it to fit into any sort of war game, you're just going to have to scale it up or down, unfortunately. There is a small clearance that you will have to take into account where this fitting into the base here, it might just mean that you have to drill that hole out a little or fill it in or whatever. So yeah. Now another thing when I was making this is what side is the front and what side is the back. Now this kind of became a thing when I started designing. It's like, okay, which way around is this? When I was drawing the hull, I was like, hold on, if I'm doing this properly, there should be thrusters in all directions, including up. That's what this little hole in here is. It's a thruster. There should be one on the bottom, but I couldn't really fit it in with a peg, so it's where the peg is. But yeah, you get the idea. Is there should be thrust in all directions because the ship may need to maneuver. What I'm planning on doing is I'm actually planning on making a refitted version of this with a larger thruster top and bottom, because no doubt when they were like using this, testing it out, they've realised that, hold on, we really do need the up and down thruster, so we're going to add it in. It might be a case that, say, it was limited by something like the London Naval Treaty, and therefore it couldn't have all the things it needed. So they had to refit it, extend it a little, put a bigger thruster in. So let's just go over the weapons. So we've got two turrets on top, two main turrets I should say, and two on the bottom, along with a plethora of secondary weapons along the sides of both the top and bottom hull. We've got a vertical launch missile system towards what I would consider the rear, and towards what I would consider the bottom front we have a catapult with hangar. So the idea with that is it doesn't have enough fighters to really produce its own cap, but having fighters might be advantageous for whatever it's doing. It might even just be a shuttle bay where it carries a shuttle to go do boarding operations. Regardless, it has that capability. My idea is I'm going to be making more in this sort of series, and they're going to be like light cruisers, destroyers, and when I do so, there's going to be things that they won't be able to fit because there's, like, say, a destroyer. At that point, they won't have hangar capability because they're too small to have a hangar. They won't have as large guns. They might just have the secondary guns in this as their primary. Likewise for the light cruiser, I'm going to work on what that would be like. So, anyway, I'm going to move on to the paint. So, time to zoom out and get a look at everything I used. So, first thing I used was carmine red. So that is the bottom of the hull. So I'll explain more about my philosophy there in a moment, as well as the busty brown. I'm going to explain why I used that on the top, but first let's just get through the rest of them. We've got the sky grey, which is on the sides. We do have the silver in the thruster, so I haven't got the silver paint out. And we've got black back and front, so just the regular Vallejo black for back and front, as well as the base and the stem. So why did I use these paints? Well, my thought was make something that doesn't look like just another grey box, because whilst they're probably going to be a case of starships turning into grey boxes or white boxes or whatever colour, it looks boring. So I was trying to find something that would spruce it up, and my inspiration for this was sort of the Great White Fleet, late 1800s, early 1900s sort of paint schemes. So red bottom, because this is like anti-corrosion, biological because you don't want stuff growing on the hull. Grey for the sides. It would be white, but to be honest, this grey looks kind of whitish, especially with all the other colours round about it. And then brown on top for like the decks and the tops of turrets and the tops of the superstructure. So, yeah, that was my philosophy behind the painting. Someone pointed out when I posted this online that there's a good chance that in the far future they'll bring traditions like the paint scheme just because they can, really. So, anyway, this file is up for free. You can go download it and go use it in your own war games, or if you just want a little spaceship. Have fun, show your pictures around, and for now, take care, and I'll see you next time.